A lot of it's based. A lot of your stuff is based on reality. You know, people can relate to it.
Yeah, and cutting through these beliefs and these traditions and all these conventions we've been given. You know, you're handed a bunch of truths in this country at childhood. That, you know, your parents, you get a slightly different set. Religion is in them, and patriotism.
Well, that's a lot of stuff that draws a lot of fire from. I got to stop you at the religion part, because you have no limits whatsoever, and you do some great stuff on the Catholic Church.
Yeah, and Christianity in general.
You have some serious problems with that faith, and most religions, right?
They betrayed me. They told me they were the one true faith, and they didn't tell me that there is no such thing. They just told me they were it. And they told me when I received First Communion, I'd feel different inside, because God would be in me. I didn't feel that. And I was 7 years old, but it made an impression that maybe these people aren't going to slip me the truth every time. So it made me just a little bit cautious about what they were telling me.
Sure.
So, and now I see it for what it is. It's, you know, and Jesse Ventura was right. He just didn't go far enough. It's not just a sham. It's a scam. It's a way of controlling people. And the shame of religion, organized religion, is that it plays on a natural instinct we all have to try to rejoin the universe in some way, to try to be a part of a big whole thing that we feel separate from. And it's a natural impulse. It's where religion comes from, and they pervert that, and they use it and exploit it, and that makes me kind of angry at them.
Right. Interesting,
Right. That's how that started for me.
I was hoping for a joke, but you scared me. I'm getting that feeling like life isn't all about a punchline, Opie. Sometimes it's just about accepting it. I'm just kidding with saying that.
My problem is, too, that I take interviews as serious questions and answers, and sometimes I don't act up to my reputation. I apologize.
No, I'm just joking. Look at him, smack him. George, call him for God's sake.
Hey.
Well, for God's sake. Not for God's sake.
Him too.
Now, the people are freaking. They want to talk to you. Want to take some calls, George? Sure. Would that be cool?
That's cool, buddy.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll have more with George Carlin, all right?
Yeah.
It's FM Talk at 102.7. All right, this is FM Talk at 102.7. It's Opie and Anthony and George Carlin in the studio, everyone.
Hey.
George is kind of bummed that he missed the Louis Anderson abuse.
I miss all the good stuff. I do like Louis' dark side. I like when he talks about people dying, getting killed, and smashed up and everything.
I never heard that bit.
I do like that. I've heard a little like that, yeah.
The dark side's anywhere my ass is making a shadow. The dark side.
Hey, you have something for George Carlin today?
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing?
All right.
George, your book is awesome. I just wanted to start off by saying that. I love it.
Thanks very much.
First book I ever read that made me laugh out loud.
Good.
All right, I just wanted to let you know I was at your show on my birthday back in 1982 when you were doing the dress rehearsal for the HBO show.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, to my right, I hear a couple of girls going, ew. And I look over, I'm like, what's going on here? I don't hear a sound. All I hear is these women go, ew. All of a sudden, I look over. This guy is hunched over. Not a sound. Not one sound. All of a sudden, puking. All you hear is it hitting the floor. Everybody's mortified. Nobody knows what to do. So we're sitting there. We just look at each other. But the thing that blew our mind was this guy made no sound. Not a sound.
It just hit the floor.
Look
how memorable it was to this guy.
Yeah. Boy, did I say anything you remembered that?
Unfortunately, we were too far back for you to even notice, but I couldn't believe it.
I would have joined right in the spirit of the whole thing.
Yourself.
And done something, sure.
Yeah.
But the show was great. I had a great time.
I'm sure you did. Thank you.
That's nice, man.
All right,
a little piece of pizza and stuff, a little piece of tomato here and there.
Memorable moment.
What's wrong with that?
And the George Carlin Show. TJ, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Carlin. First of all, I'm a huge fan of yours, and you've been my favorite comedian since I could even understand comedy.
Thanks a lot, man.
I just want to know if you're planning on putting out any new stuff, like besides the thing you mentioned before, like an HBO special or something.
Well, I did one in February, so it takes a little time to generate this stuff, I don't just rip it down off the billboard. So anyway, I got to work on things, and I'll be about another year and 2 months, I'm thinking. I also got to get busy on the next book, so I got stuff to do, but it's not ready yet.
The book was awesome.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, TJ. You're still doing the That kid's show where you...
No, that was
train and stuff?
Yeah. PBS, Shining Time Station.
That was a Shining Time. It always cracked me up. Yeah. You're flipping around. It's like, hey, look, it's George Carlin at a kid show. These kids have no clue what this guy's all about, man.
I always took great satisfaction in the irony of that.
Yeah.
And the chance to infect a whole new generation. Because when those little 2-year-olds get to be 12, someone will hand them a CD.
Yeah.
Or they'll come by it somewhere or another, and the world will change. I like that.
I remember this guy from that little nice show. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Listen to him. Hey, John.
Yeah.
What do you have for George?
Well, George, I just want to know, is he's, following Ringo Starr as that conductor on Thomas the Train.
Yeah.
That must have been like a highlight of your career, I'm sure.
It surely was. In fact, I consider myself the anti-Pete Best.
Look at that.
A physics joke.
I didn't catch it, but that's okay.
All right.
Hey, but listen, do you have like a gig that you do about Thomas the Train? I'm sure you probably have some good one-liners that you would have loved to have done on that show, the real conductor on that show.
No, to tell you the truth, there was a separate compartment of my brain. I did it for what it was. I did do something on this year's HBO show about kids and how horrifying I find them and how overrated and overvalued children are in this culture. So there's a nice long screed, about a 7-minute screed on that in case you ever run into the thing. It's called You Are All Diseased. It's also a CD of its own.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thanks, man, for the comments.
Take care.
We get some stuff like that here too. You get calls from material you're doing, and it always comes down to the children.
Yeah.
You're hurting the children. So it seems to me like if we played Barney 24 hours a day, there wouldn't be any problems in the world because the children are taken care of.
Yeah, it's just such a sappy mentality. Children, save the children, help the children. Let them do something on their own, man. And if one of them, 2 of them dies, that's the way it goes.
Hey, Peter, what's going on?
How you doing, boys? George, what's up, my man?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. It's funny you just said that. I was going to ask you, remember that there where kids are too soft to pussification of kids?
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Pussification?
I think you invented that word,
man. That's my word, pussification.
But one question. I know when I was a little kid, I did whatever I want. My parents like, he's hyper, he'll fall asleep. These days, when the kid acts up in class, you get the bow tie.
That's one of the 7 words.
I know.
Ritalin?
Exactly.
We take them all over town in search of structure. Little League, Cub Scouts, and dildo practice.
I mean, I like drugs, but I'm an adult. What do you think about kids getting pumped full of stuff?
I think it's a certain inconsistency, I'd say. So these parents talk about drugs and everything, and then they use them for their convenience to get free from a child's normal kind of energy.
There you go.
Sure.
Those are the legal drugs.
It's hypocritical.
Very good, very good. Hang out with these goofy bastards. They're the best.
I'm learning now not to talk anymore.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay.
All right. JJ, you got a question for George Carlin?
Mr. Carlin, how you doing?
Hello, JJ.
JJ,
hello, JJ. How you doing?
Hey, big fan of yours. My kids used to watch the Shining Time Station all the time.
Good.
And there's one story that stuck out in my mind. I believe it was called A Cow on the Line with Thomas the Tank Train.
Yeah.
And when you imitated that cow noise, I mean, it was horrific. And I was just wondering if...
I didn't scare you, JJ.
You did.
Didn't scare you, did it?
JJ's scaring me.
Maybe you
I was just wondering if, when you were imitating that cow, if any horny thoughts came through your mind at the time.
Well, I am a Taurus, and that's the bull, and that's horny right there. I'm sorry, I don't have a real clever remark. Perhaps a little Ritalin would help.
One last question, though, with regards to the 7 words.
Yeah.
With the scene of Chicago Hope on the other night, they used one of your 7 words. What's that do to your bit now?
I never haven't done that bit since 1973, so it doesn't do much to it.
Like I said, I'm a huge fan.
Thanks, man. But anyway, they've always, this is an arbitrary list of filthy words that they made up, and so it's open to a lot of questions, and that they can break their own rules. That's the nice thing about running things.
Hey, great job. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.
All right, JJ.